I know a lot of people have been asking for my price targets on XRP, and I think this is the first time I'll say it, but I think XRP is heading to $1,000 by 2030. So for me, it's, you know, a super important project, and actually
$1,000 per XRP by 2030. You heard that right, folks. This isn't a dream. Live on television. Okay? Right on the New York Stock Exchange floor. $1,000 per XRP. What do we talk about? Right? Now, people are finally starting to catch on that XRP needs to be at a high price for it to even work. If it's not at a high price, it's basically considered dead, in my opinion. So right now, XRP is in the underworld. It is some entity needs to reach their hand to XRP and help pull XRP up, right, to heaven. Now, it is a possibility because Michael Saylor believes Bitcoin to $13 million relatively soon, and then Grok believes I expect $25 million per Bitcoin in 2046, driven by institutional adoption and supply limits. It's possible. If Bitcoin can do it, XRP can. There only needs to be one coin that does it, guys, and the rest will follow. This isn't financial advice. I believe $1,000 or no, $2,000 per XRP right after the collapse. The question is, when is the collapse? I think next year. We'll see. Here are a few targets from different analysts within the XRP community. We got $4 here. We got $6, 5, 6 there. We got $7 here. We got $10 here. We got $15 here. We got $20 here. Another 20 here. We got $24 here. We got $30 here. Maybe even so, $100 per XRP by the cycle end. Where will it go to? What could it be? But here comes a literal developer, okay, who worked on a very successful coin called Cardano, telling us that Cardano could 100x to 1000x. Look at that. That's diabolical. I told you that coins can do this. And Cardano is a very high ranked coin. What's the market cap on Cardano? I know it's up there, guys. Okay, because I had Cardano once before, many years ago. But I sold it off, I think. I don't know for what. I can't remember. I don't have any of that stuff right now, though. But he believes rank 10 coin Cardano, market cap $27 billion, can 1000x. A literal developer and probably an insider is telling you coins, it doesn't even matter about market cap. I told you guys, right? And look at the example he gives here, which is very fascinating because we basically said the same thing first. A significantly better investment than Bitcoin. Why? Because Bitcoin wouldn't even go that high, right? Maybe a million, that's a 10x from here. What about XRP? We could use the same theory, idea to XRP, guys. Just listen for a split second.
You think ADA will still outperform BTC in the future?
Of course, because how much farther can Bitcoin go? Maybe to a million. Okay, it's a 10x. ADA can go 100x, 1000x over this. It's like, guys, we're not a second-class citizen. Cardano does substantially more, and because of Bitcoin DeFi, it's going to end up probably being the yield layer of Bitcoin. And so it's going to.
Do you not understand? Right? He basically said, yeah, I'm using the example of Cardano, by the way. I don't. The thing is, I'm not even invested into Cardano anymore. Like this was years ago, so I don't really care about Cardano as much. The only reason I'm using this example is because the head dev, the guy who coded Cardano ADA, came about just recently, very recent, and said that Cardano could 1000x, guys. So go debate Charles Hoskinson on this matter, right? Because I know a lot of people say that's unbelievable. That's FUD. It's not. Number two, David Schwartz said the same exact thing with XRP. He said that XRP, he gave the example of XRP being at $1 million. Why? Because if it's cheap, because if it's at a low price, there isn't enough liquidity, right? A bank moving $1 billion would need 1 billion XRP at $1 to move $1 billion. Now, if it was at $1,000 XRP, that is, it would be 1000x less, okay, to move $1 billion. Do you guys not understand now? Right? So it's quite simple. Now, some people are suggesting, hey, for XRP to reach 4 digits. We must burn the XRP owned by Ripple, and yes, that can happen. Basically the escrow. But no, we actually need the escrow. Do you guys understand why? Okay, people don't realize what XRP is. I don't think people do their research. I know that was from years ago, guys, 5 years ago, but let me tell you guys what XRP truly is, because the developers who coded these coins are telling us the purpose of XRP was to go to a high price. Okay, it was coded that way. If you look at it has drops as well, right? XRP has drops like Satoshi's. Why? Think about it and look at where Bitcoin is. Okay. Plus, it's deflationary in nature. 1. Ripple co-founder Arthur Bretto believes XRP is designed for a price of $10,000. Bretto emphasizes the importance of global scalability to accommodate the world's population of 7.5 billion people. Okay, this is why the escrow must not be burned. It needs to accommodate 7.5 billion people. That's why they created a large amount of the supply of XRP. The max supply of XRP is at 100 billion. Okay, 100 billion because of this fact, which is why the potential of XRP at 10K reflects its ambitious goals and market aspirations. Okay, that's the thing, guys. The reason why XRP, there needs to be a lot of XRPs, because it's going to be moved around a lot. Okay, it's going to be changing hands a lot. Why? XRP is viewed as a reliable source of value and finite digital asset with real-world utility and financial settlement. And here comes the CEO of a prominent German blockchain venture capital firm suggests that XRP could emerge as the world's reserve bridge currency. This is why the escrow must not be burned. Okay?
Der zeitliche Druck, so schnell wie möglich etwas zu tun gegen diesen drohenden Kollaps. Und da wird man natürlich auf das...
Wait, he literally just said to implement CBDCs, the time pressure as quickly as possible to do something against this impending collapse. Who was the first people for years that has been talking about the collapse of this financial system? Right? Even the Riddlers confirmed this because they spoke of a new financial system, okay, on the horizon. And during that switch, during that downtime is where they'll bring upon the solution of XRP. It will only happen when everything becomes silent.
Und da wird man natürlich auf das zurückgreifen, was da ist. Ripple ist da mit seinem Angebot, und wenn die Zeit für Ripple spielt, dann kann Ripple durchaus die World Reserve Bridge Currency werden.
Exactly, the World Reserve Bridge Currency, guys, right? So XRP will be partnered. Okay, so let me say this: XRP will be partnered with all the banks in the entire globe. XRP could become a reserve currency, not the way you think a reserve currency is, like the United States dollar. Let me tell you how. If all the banks need a currency, right, it will be XRP or the digital asset. Though it will not be a reserve currency as how you would imagine it to be. Instead, it will be held by the banks, right, moving money around. But that's basically a reserve currency, right? Because it's the main currency to moving assets around, to moving value around, and that is XRP, right? I'm guessing there will be 2 reserve currencies: United States dollars, and XRP. One for traditional finance, and the other for digital, like 2 worlds colliding.
Und wenn das der Fall ist, dann können wir das hier streichen und eine 4 oder eine 5 hinmachen.
And here comes Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse unleashes the signs. We are not partnering with Swift, we are replacing them. All the signs were there, but nobody listened.
I'm always amazed. Swift has a reported error rate of 6%. Imagine if 6 out of every 100 Google searches you did had a failed result.
Wait, I've never like moved money across borders. Wait, Swift has a error rate of 6%. Does that mean 6% of their payments fail? All right, unreliable. 6% of payments fail. Wait, what? No, that's insanity. I thought it was 100% success rate. Wow. You guys see what we're talking about here? Right, there needs to be something reliable. And what is that? It's XRP. It never fails.
That's a crazy statement. We have an observer to our board of directors who's a CFO of a Fortune 50 company. He actually said in their experience, they do a lot of cross-border transactions. He said to us that they see an 11% error rate. Now again, this isn't to say that these aren't correctable. It's that human intervention is required, and it slows things down and obviously has costs associated with that. Most impactful is the trapped liquidity that is inherent in the cross-border, in the correspondent banking network. We've seen estimates from the players like major consulting firms estimate there's $10 trillion trapped in accounts around the world, enabling the current correspondent banking infrastructure. To the extent we can make that more efficient, we can dramatically change even the economics of many different payment companies, banks, and again, making this more efficient for global commerce, making more capital available to put to work to banks' core mission, not to pre-fund and have the dynamics associated with that.
Guys, the old system, which is what we're governed by today, is outdated. It's slow. It's inefficient. Okay? It's costly. It's unreliable. It's everything that's tied to negative outcomes. We could introduce a new system. That is XRP. Right? The reason why it's going to be overnight, it has to be because of all the volume and liquidity, guys. Right? They basically tested XRP, and that's why we were like the test guinea pigs. And now they're going to showcase the real true value of XRP. We are going to drive a massive demand for XRP because we are solving a multi-trillion-dollar problem, right? Naveen Gupta said, Ripple's not here to take a slice of the pie, right? We're going to put a dent in the universe or we're going to die. What will it be? Success or failure? And here's one last thing I do want to mention. Here's Bitcoin. It went from pennies to over 100K. Okay, let's say back when we were at right here, back when Bitcoin was at $600. Okay, like over here. I don't have the correct chart, but the history is like cut off, guys. But when you were here, guys, people wouldn't think it's gonna keep going higher. But look what it did. This is on the non-lock chart, right? It just kept going higher and higher and higher throughout time. The same thing is going to repeat with XRP because it has true utility. Not financial advice, 4 digits imminent. Next year, probably, hopefully. But it's not so. See ya.